Hello again, everyone. Saki here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 Season, the 2022 mod from Full Circle Racing Designs. And we are here for 40 laps at Richmond in our X4 Tides of Avarice Camaro. Brandon's outside in that 27 Adrenaline Shock Toyota and 3X tire wear. We won't have to pit for fuel, but tires will be dead at the end of this run. William Byron on the pole. Green flag is out behind Cole Custer. He tries to shift lines a little bit. Not that strong of a start for the AI as we get down to the bottom. 3 wide, almost into Blaney. Gives us a little bit of room. We stay on the bottom and still 3 wide. Michael McDowell up top. Brandon slicing down to the bottom. We'll give him that spot. Brad Keselowski fills the bottom. And side-by-side racing until we can get single file. We'll get good launch off of turn 4, it seems, and Brad packs it down into that first turn. We'll leave him room on the bottom as we roll that outside. A decent run you can get on the outside of turn 2. As you can see, we pick it up, but Brad has that position. Brandon to the inside of McDowell and Kurt Busch as well, trying to keep it pinned on the bottom. He's not able to get back to the gas. And settling in here, heavy traffic. The leaders are now single file. Denny Hamlin leading that top groove with Christopher Bell. And we're just trying to get past Brad. We might be able to get behind Cole Custer if Brad and Cole get by us. But BJ MacLeod goes to fill that spot. But we should be okay with this launch off of turn 4. In fact, we claw back on Cole Custer. We might be able to get down to the bottom here, but I'm playing it safe here. Don't want to cut off the AI as they like to really dive it into turn 1 and just roll that outside until we can find some daylight. Cole Custer thinks about moving up. Almost really loose into turn 3. Almost looped it there. Overdriving the corner. Not good for the tires, that is for sure. And especially turn 1, you really use that right front tire. And on 3X tire wear, by the end of these 40 laps, that right front will be screaming for sure. Not sure if the AI are going to have to pit this particular race. If we do see them come down at lap 20, we'll match them to stay on similar strategy and get those tires on, because I think the fall off would be great enough if we stayed out for the whole 40, that we would be much slower than fresh tires. But we're able to get down to the bottom behind Chase Elliott, moving to the inside, possibly go 3 wide, and this is our chance to start finally moving forward. Felt almost like a plate race, being stuck on that outside groove, and you can see the leaders already going into turn 1 and 2, William Byron, and single file all the way up until Brandon on that outside of Keselowski and Kurt Busch. We roll the bottom to the inside of Chase Briscoe. No real where to go. We'll follow Chase. Hopefully he can get the power down and around Briscoe, or we might be able to get by Briscoe as well. And indeed, Chase does make the move under Michael McDowell. Still 2 wide. Ooh, really loose on turn 1. Luckily, we're able to catch it and not lose that much ground. Chase Briscoe not able to capitalize on that slide. But turn 1 is a fine line for sure. The car is free enough to help rotate, but on corner entry under braking, very, very loose. That rear end gets very light and wants to come around. And we'll look to the inside of Chase Elliott. Still a little loose. You saw a bit of counter steer there to try to keep the car on the bottom. Chase there fighting to the outside, and it does look like everyone is starting to single file out. Brandon washes up. Keselowski looks to the inside, and we are finally clear of the pack and able to move forward. Looks like Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick are running side by side. Woo! Had to get on the brakes there for BJ. Nearly spun the car out. Having to slow down for that. We'll be able to make the pass on turn 3 approach though. Right to the bottom. Car washes out just a little bit, but not too awful much. We're able to make the pass. Clear him, and Brandon is in a little bit of traffic there with Custer, Wallace, and Dylan and Keselowski all together. Throw a blanket under those guys. Good run off of the corner. Brandon looks 3 wide. This may be our opportunity to make some ground up on Cole Custer and Austin Dillon as well, fighting with Bubba Wallace on that inside groove. Brandon able to get up to the top if he needed, but goes to the inside, maybe trying to outbrake Brad. Brad drives it in a little bit deeper and touching that apron a little bit. We don't need that, but we're set up well to pass Austin Dillon going into turn 3, and no pressure. Ooh, Austin comes up, or we come down. We meet in the middle, and no harm, no foul. That's just short track racing, I assume. We're able to keep on going. But every little slide that we do hurts the tires 3 times as much as it normally would on this tire wear, so we have to be extremely careful here. Mind our P's and Q's, let the temperatures come down and regroup. There's still plenty of time to go, especially if they start going side by side. The Penske cars up front battling side by side with Cindric and Blaney. We'll look to the outside of Austin Dillon, slide a little bit, but carry that momentum off of turn 2 to make the pass. And do we get down to the bottom? Yes, indeed, under Cole Custer. Top to the bottom, making up ground. Luckily, Cole gave us that spot, and we're able to pull off of Bubba Wallace going into turn number 1. And we should get that pass done indeed. Cole Custer rolls out and setting sights on Brad Keselowski, who is still now up top. But those Hendrick cars way out front, losing sight of the leaders at this point. But it just comes down to what speed we can run by ourselves once we do get clear of this traffic. Putting Brad 1 position back, setting up Bubba Wallace as well, driving into that first turn, but have to get it slowed up massively to not wash up. And getting that power down, Bubba Wallace fights back on that outside. We'll be able to get to the inside of turn 3 and complete that pass, get out to the wall and carry all of that speed as normal and start making our forward motion. We'll sort of let Brandon pick and choose the holes that he goes through. Kurt Busch is next up on the block with Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick right in front. There goes Brandon making the move on Kurt Busch. We should follow him through the bottom, forcing him up top. Bottom is the preferred way to go through the corners for sure. And indeed, we're able to get back to the power. It looks like Kurt Busch not strong on corner exit. We're able to make that going into turn 1 complete and get out to the wall. Kurt Busch rolls out and gives us the space, much appreciated. And Brandon picks off Christopher Bell as well. Good drive on the bottom, a clean turn 3 and 4 for us there. Really good on power and really setting Brandon up. We'll look to the inside. He's trapped behind Tyler Reddick. We'll take that position, see if we can use Reddick as a pick as we go down into turn 3. Brandon side by side. And we'll drive in. Reddick drops low. Brandon still hanging on that right rear corner. Brandon rolls out to get that good launch off the corner. And now it's up to us to pick and choose the holes as we go under Reddick. Brandon should follow us through, but he holds right behind Reddick until the last minute, cuts down to the bottom, and he'll have a better exit off of turn 1 and 2 than us down to the inside. We'll concede that spot for now. No real reason to race hard, as we are faster single file than side by side, so co-opetition kicks in and we'll just both be faster together. Austin Cindric next up, and he's all by himself, so plenty of room to get both of us through if he can open up that gap. And then Ryan Blaney up front, looking ahead to see if we can see the leaders of William Byron. And indeed, that looked like Eric Almirola going through turns 1 and 2. So Byron is free and clear of the pack, leading this race from the pole. And Byron hasn't had a win this year. It would be interesting to see another AI car get a win this year. All that we've had is Brad Keselowski at the opening race at Daytona. Good power down, and these guys are starting to equalize on the times. You can look in the mirror at how much we've left the cars behind, but these cars in front of us are running very similar lap times, and it's going to be clawing a 10th here and a 10th there and waiting for them to get side by side with each other to really take advantage. And it's about this point that the tires are starting to wear. You see us drifting out to the wall trying to get those fronts to turn, and they are just wearing down. Turn 1 is scrubbing them, all the good out of them for sure. But I think I see Larson up there. I couldn't see if that was Byron or if that was still Almirola. So the top 5 is within reach, but I do not see the leader. A quick caution wouldn't be the worst thing. Come down, get 4 tires, reset, and be much closer to Byron than we are now. But it looks like this has the feeling of a green flag race, with everyone single file and minding their business now on this long run. We're catching Blaney ever so slowly. getting that pull down the straightaway. And indeed, I think we're able to really make up time entering turn 1. That seems to be where we are the strongest. But the rest of the track seems to be even Steven, unless Brandon can get a fender on Ryan Blaney. There he goes. So that will set up nicely to make Ryan run that outside. We'll get the power down, cut the corner a little bit early, and back to the throttle. And in fact, that is William Byron just up there, so we are clawing into the lead a bit together, staying single file, making those passes together, and staying in line is the way to go for sure. Picking up the gas again on Denny Hamlin. Brandon with a good launch off of turn 4. Will he look to the inside? No, he'll stay in line, as will we, waiting for him to take that spot. And turn 3 looks to be the place where Brandon likes to make his moves. There he goes to the left, and we'll follow him right around. Catching him early, we may be able to clear Denny before the corner exit. Now Denny fights back just a little bit, not too awful bad. We can still get a good run into turn 1 from that outside groove, not have to choke up the corner on the bottom. And if Harvick gets racy with Logano, that's going to be great as well. And I think I see a lap car of Justin Haley, so throw lap traffic into the mix. Really the first time this year that we've seen lap cars get in the leaders, and 3 wide. Harvick goes under Logano, Brandon goes under Harvick. We'll go under both of them, get a twofer going into turn 1. Couldn't ask for anything better than that. And I believe it's at this point that the AI tires have really fallen off, and if they were even closer on fuel, I think they would pit, but it looks like they're going to stick it out here. And with our advantage, we may be able to pounce, especially if Haley starts getting closer to Byron. So it looks like he will catch them in a little bit, or is that Cody Ware? Either way, we are on the back of the pack. Brandon goes to the inside of Almirola, and it is going to start getting tight indeed. William Byron looking for a place to go, with Kyle Larson right in second in his tire tracks. Brandon going to the inside of Larson. We're clear for a bit, and Byron is gun shy. Did not get around the 51. So we'll take advantage of that, have a good run, and Brandon right behind Byron. We will follow suit under Larson, let Byron get clear of Cody Ware, and probably make the pass into turn 1 if we can carry that speed. Indeed, Brandon gets the launch off of turn 4. We'll use the 51 to slow down Larson a bit, right on the inside of William Byron. Really drove it in and washed up a bit. Byron gives us the space, and we're able to get out to the wall. And now it is lap traffic like times of old, waiting for Brandon to make any kind of mistake or get slowed up any little bit by those lap cars, as we are now free and clear. He got a massive run off of turn 3 and 4, so we will have to make our move going into turn 1. I think that's where we are stronger than Brandon for sure. And Brandon forcing under Ty Dillon and Ross Chastain. We're sort of pinched behind Ty. If he can get off the bottom, there we go. We lost a little bit of speed, but not too awful much. These other cars are keeping to the outside. Much appreciated, letting us come on by. And still within shouting distance as these laps tick down. This is as close as we've been to Brandon in the later stages of the race. That wasn't a plate race, that is for sure. Nearly identical lap times. In qualifying, we were only 400ths off of each other, so really even Steven as far as speed goes. And you can just see where we make up all of our time going into turn 1, but the front tires are starting to give up. So when we need them the most to cut that corner exit and get off the corner, we may be on the struggle bus just a bit, having to use the brakes. Good run. We'll see if we can get to the inside here. Waiting. No, Brandon moves down to defend. We're not going to go dive bombing. We'll try to dime in the corner, get back to that yellow line, and back to the gas early. Trying to stay right there. Brandon with a little bit better launch, and there is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Stopping our forward progress. And Brandon's going to get clear, but we're not. That will slow us down just a little bit, and you can see how much time that gave up, us not being able to get out to the wall. We'll make up time in turn 1, and you can see the car not holding the bottom. Brandon with a little bit of slip coming off of turn 2. I think we are in his mirror. But you can see how much the car is washing up now. The front tires are practically gone, having to put some brake into the front as well, and that's just killing our overall speed. Trying to keep this car pivoted and turned, and we're catching lap traffic where we can't get out to the wall so much. Under Eric Jones as well, and this is what we like to see. Bowman trying to pass Kyle Busch, and we can't get back to the gas with Eric Jones there. White flag, one more lap to go. This race has flown by. We'll have to drive it into turn 1 as hard as we can, make up as much speed, and BJ is going to be out there. We can't get out to the wall and cannot get as much power down. Just catching these lap cars in the wrong place, and the front tires are gone. Spirited race for sure. Brandon will take the checkered flag here at Richmond. We will come across the line in second. Third place will be Kyle Larson. Fourth place will be Eric Almirola. Fifth place will be William Byron. Sixth place will be Kevin Harvick. Seventh place will be Joey Logano. Eighth place will be Denny Hamlin. Ninth place will be Ryan Blaney. And rounding out your top 10 is Austin Cindric. So at the halfway mark, our tires were holding up well. Getting under Brandon into turn 1, that's where we needed to make the pass when it was all said and done. But catching those cars in opportune places, having dead equal cars, it was a hard-fought battle for sure, and looking forward to next week. But before we head to the paperclip, let's take a look at the standings. Brand with his 4th win this year. Daniel Suarez is your cutoff driver. 1 over Chase Elliott, 4 over Alex Bowman, 7 over Bubba Wallace, and Austin Dillon still kind of tight between 13th all the way down through 20th and beyond. And with a short track that narrows up very quickly next week with the paperclip, anything can happen, but that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for Martinsville. Take care.